little intro in the other one. Hello, we are back, still at 1950 South Shepherd, and I have two new guests on the couch. Would you guys you girls, like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. My name's Sasha. I'm 16 and I'm Shannon Rappo.
Hi, Sasha.
My name's Marissa. I'm 21. I'm Shanna Rappo as well.
Hi, thank you both for being here. So like I said on our last live, we're gonna be doing a few episodes today, and yeah, our topic today is going to be anxiety. So first, let's just do a little mental check-in, talk about how we're feeling. How was lunch?
Lunch was really good. I enjoyed the sliders, but it was a little cold down there in that room.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, we have had no AC for a month, so that cold air is just a blessing. But no, yeah, it's chilly down there for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed the lunch. What about you? How you feeling?
It was pretty good. Can't complain.
Good. And lunch would be like our icebreaker. You know what I mean? How it's like.
Yeah.
And so now, how do you feel overall? Like, what are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty happy. I had a lot of fun we did like this interview thing this morning with, I don't know his name. Do you know his name?
No.
Darren?
Maybe. But it was really fun seeing like how different the conversations are, like when you're being recorded for like the news and stuff, how you have to respond. So yeah, but it was fun. I feel really good.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
It's been going pretty good. I feel pretty happy with how everything's been. He showed us some tips on how to use his camera, and how to zoom in, better ways of finding making it more clear.
Mhm.
So that was pretty cool, learning how to use the camera.
That's awesome. Like, you could start learning like the simplest things about a camera, and you just never know where that might take you. You know.
Yeah.
There's so much to capture in the world. You know.
Yeah, and even like the interview process of it was pretty. I had a lot of anxiety, at least whenever I was asking questions. My hands started shaking.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was pretty cool asking questions and getting to know someone who I don't know and seeing how they feel about different subjects.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, what were we talking about? The casino. So that was one of the things we were talking about, and somehow we went from the casino to talking about anxiety.
Really?
So that was pretty. And what he does to not get anxious, and how he has like friends that help him. That was pretty cool.
I like that. Yeah. Conversations, like, that's what we do a lot of times on here. We go from one topic to the next, you know what I mean? And then the conversation just starts flowing and it's natural. But, there can be a lot of pressure of sitting down on this couch, knowing what you're about to do, knowing that you have live viewers. Looks like we have about 4 viewers right now. If you're watching, check in with us. Tell us how you're feeling mentally, physically. We're going to be talking about some anxiety today and maybe some ways to cope and deal with that. I can start out by sharing some of the techniques that I've learned about how to deal with anxiety, and then maybe you guys can touch on what you've learned or what you've talked about so far. So, anxiety is sneaky. Sometimes you don't even realize that it's happening until, your cheeks are red and you start to feel your heart beating faster and faster. And these are just some ways that I deal with anxiety. I've never really had social anxiety, it's more like worry that causes anxiety. So, I get too far outside of my head that causes me to overthink, and then I have anxiety, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just being so vulnerable and real on here because these are just my life experiences and maybe people can relate to that. So this is one of the like tips that my doctor taught me, how to deal with anxiety in public and not look like you're like having a panic attack. He said either you or another person can put a firm hand on the back of your neck, and for whatever reason that pressure like affects your nervous system and can help you calm down. And I've used that trick. I've used that like just being out in public and it looks so natural, you know what I mean? I'm not going
Yeah.
to do it for real, but like it looks like I'm just giving you support, you know?
Stretching or something.
Yeah, like stretching, giving like a kind like pat on the, neck or and very discreet way. And then also the breathing in four. So breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4 seconds. Those are some of the things that have helped me. Also, like the five senses. Um, one thing I can see, one thing I can smell, one thing I can hear, touch, taste. You know,
Yeah.
our nervous system is a crazy. It's all nervous and no system. So yeah, how do you guys feel about do you have any certain ways to cope, any ways that you deal with your anxiety, whether it be social, um, or just anything?
Sometimes I struggle with like social anxiety. Like I could be hanging out with my friends or a family gathering, and it's just kind of overwhelming for me. Like I feel the need to just go be in a different room. Like it's just kind of overwhelming. So I tend to either maybe write about how I feel in my notes or in my journal, or I do like just the breathing method, just 4 in, 4 out, and just try to calm the storm in my mind a little bit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that. Yes, writing down what you're feeling sometimes is so helpful because sometimes you might be knowing what you're feeling on the inside, but until you put it out, it's hard to identify. So
Yeah.
I really like that. Thank you for sharing that. Do we have a comment, Dita?
I was trying to see if I could hear y'all.
Oh, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I can't see that comment though. It's covered up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right there. Can you see it now?
Yeah, Firestarter Carlos Tank Torres from Tunnel Vision Recovery. Okay, thank you for tuning in. So yeah, I just wanted to keep up with our comments and those who are interacting with us, so that if they have any questions or anything for us or our youth, we will be happy to answer. So, what's your take on anxiety, coping, breathing?
I feel like for me, I'll like fidget with like my bracelet or a ring. That'll kind of help me calm down a little bit and just take it a step at a time. Also, like if I'm getting overwhelmed with a lot of people, I'll usually just go to my room, kind of take a step back a little bit and reset myself. Like that helps a lot. It's a lot of the anxiety that I get.
I like that. Yeah, it's like some people would say that this is disrespectful, but I don't ever think it's disrespectful if you feel the need to like step away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to step out for 5 minutes, like, whether you're at work or school or whatever it may be. Like, I feel like as a human being, you should be allowed that no matter what, you know?
Yeah.
Because why am I going to stay here and not be my best self, be anxious or struggling, or down or whatever the case may be, just dealing with my mental health? And I'm just going to stay in a position where I'm like not well mentally, you know? So I think that on those harder days, it's okay to step away for 5, 10 minutes and just kind of reset yourself and then go from there,
Yeah.
you know, and just Someone said this to me once. They said, focus on the first stair, like on the first step, not the whole staircase. And that really helps with anxiety too. Because, like, when you're looking at things, you're looking at this whole puzzle piece of a situation that you might be dealing with. You're not focusing on one thing. Like, it can become overwhelming. And then the overwhelming part of it causes anxiety. And yeah, do we have like the actual definition of anxiety, the actual term? Do we know it?
Not really, not
No?
necessarily.
I
No.
can look it up for you.
I know. I'm about to look it up because anxiety is like so many things, and then there's like social anxiety,
So
so many.
it says intense, excessive, and persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. Fast heart rate, rapid breathing, sweating, and feeling tired may occur.
Mm. Thank you for reading that. And really, it it
There you
is
go.
exactly the definition. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's exactly what we experience in anxiety. Um, yeah. Pull the mic. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very real and very natural. So if you need to like readjust or anything, you know, don't be afraid. You need to fix your mic, or sometimes I'm like sliding down on the couch right now. I gotta just getting real comfy over here. But yeah, those are I'm trying to think of ways that I help my child to deal with anxiety. She's 6 years old, and she's already self-aware enough to tell me that she's dealing with some anxiety, which I think is a big deal. Because growing up, I was always a scared kid. I was always worried. But I didn't ever know how to like put that or what to call it, you know? So I just worried myself sick. And then I had stomach problems all the time growing up because I would worry myself sick. And so I think that my daughter being able to identify, like, oh, mom, I'm feeling anxious, you know, is we're already one step ahead of the game, and she can identify that. And so now I'll know how to cross those bridges when we get there.
Yeah.
So
I like that you're teaching your daughter already. I feel like a lot of the older generation, they act like anxiety isn't real and that we're just doing a lot. So I like that you're already teaching your daughter like coping skills and how to communicate whenever things are getting overwhelming. That's really cool.
thank you. It is I see where you're coming from with talking about, you know, one thing I've had to accept is that the older generation has this very good work ethic.
Oh.
They're going to work and work and work forever, and nothing will get in the way of that. And then as the generations move down, we realize that we were not okay. You know what I mean? We don't have any tips and tricks and ways to deal with our mental health and addiction and parenting and things like discipline, just all these things, you know? And so I feel like as we grow and heal, these younger generations are doing better about identifying those things. And, you know, I always want my daughter to know that her feelings are valid to me no matter what they look like. And I think maybe if some of us had that growing up, things would be different, you know?
Yeah.
But all I can do is change the future, not the past, you know? And be in the present always. If you stay in the present, your anxiety will. My anxiety is better when I'm in the present.
Yeah.
Seth Humphreys says, getting some fresh air always works for me. Oh, yes. Getting outside. The sun will do something to you, I swear. Like, sun is so good. Barry Bowtone says, my beautiful baby niece Cha Cha. Oh.
Mm.
Thank you for tuning in, Barry. I hope you're having a great trip. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I get to hang out with these lovely teenagers, you know, our next generation, and the things that they're doing in the mountains that they will move. I have no doubt in the world that they won't be huge. So thank you both for being here. Your courage shows today. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
How
Put a microphone towards her.
Pull your microphone.
how did you like get into podcasting? Because sometimes, like when I'm getting ready or if I'm just doing something and I don't want to listen to music, I tend to listen to like podcasts, like mental health podcasts, and I really enjoy listening to them. But I never really thought about too much about how they've got to like where they are and how they feel so open to talking like that, like talking out loud and expressing themselves.
So, do you, just so I understand your question, more so like how to get a podcast started, or how to become more comfortable in front of it, or both?
Both, yeah.
Both? Okay.
Typically both, yeah.
So, from my understanding, whenever Tor started their podcast, they literally had an iPhone that they would set up in the work car outside of different events, and they just started going live on Facebook, and they just started connecting with people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then eventually, they got a YouTube channel. And then eventually they got this whole setup right here, the camera, the soundboard, all of that. And then they also got so StreamYard, is what we're using to stream. All of that came into play, and then they just kept being consistent with it. That's why it's important to Barry, and I'm understanding now, because the consistency of this podcast is how we grow as a community, how we grow as a family.
Yeah.
And so keeping it consistent is where we're going to reach the most people. And then being comfortable on here definitely comes with time.
Yeah.
Definitely comes with, like I told the last group, my face was bright red. My cheeks were just like apples, because I was so nervous. And I mean, I'm still just a human being sitting on this couch right now. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm just a human being sitting on this couch with a story, a rough past, and a little bit of hope for the future. That's it. So just take some time. Just a one-on-one with your kiddos is a gift. Just being able to share that truth experience with anxiety and being mindfulness. Yes, thank you, Mingo. Thank you for sharing that. Always on vacation. They are sharing the good word. They are sharing testimonies and spreading hope. So that's where they're at. Nat says, "Hey ladies, love seeing the new faces on the live." Me too. This is like so exciting. I want to have like a guest podcast at least once or twice a week where we bring in some random person. Like, I'll go find someone at the store if I need to.
I think that would be fun. To see what
Right?
they have to say. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone like on this earth has a different perspective than you or I. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the open-mindedness and willingness to be able to sit with someone and listen, I think is a beautiful thing.
Especially, I would say, like, our elders is like so exciting listening to the stories that they have and all the things that you would never know they went through
Right.
without like talking to them. So that would be cool if you brought like older people on too and hear their story.
Yeah. I think we have had some elders on here. We need to go back and go through on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, I believe, keeps all of our episodes, but on Facebook, they expire after 30 days. But yes, definitely need some elders on here. Just people of all ages, all different ages sitting in together and talking. I think that that's awesome. I have had my daughter on here once, but she got more excited about kind of reading the comments and stuff than like engaging and talking.
Mhm.
But me and Josie P go live on my Facebook page sometimes, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, any other questions or anything that we have before we close this one out? No?
No.
Do you guys know what other topics were floating around downstairs?
Alcohol, vaping, marijuana, depression, anxiety. I think that was all of them. Yeah, that might have been all of them. There might have been
Okay.
one more, but yeah.
So we're going to have a few more groups that come up today and tune in and bring their topic, and we'll have a discussion on it. So thank you all for tuning in. Oh, I want to read Nat's comment. We always need to hear a youth perspective in the community. Carly is doing great up here, being the voice of youth in recovery. Yes. Thank you so much, Carly, for your courage and perseverance in going and traveling and sharing your testimony. I think it's so beautiful. So I hope you guys are all having a great time. I can't wait to hear about it. The youth is amazing. Their resilience is. Yay for the youth. Yay. We got to get a.
Lulu.
Which one do we want?
Lulu or
I feel like there's a few that we don't use. What is this?
That's word.
Oh, this is a fun day. This is so fun. All right, well, we are going to check out for a bit. Stay tuned for our next group. Like, share, follow. Tell these ladies how amazing they are. And we're out.
Bye.
okay.